This is Hima Hegde, bringing to you the daily news podcast at Sourcing Classes. All the news you need to know and more. To begin with, let us look at the topics under light for today. In today's session, we will be discussing two bills, namely the Major Port Authorities Bill 2020 and the Indian Institute of Information Technology Laws Amendment Bill 2020, that is the IIIT Laws Amendment Bill 2020. So here's a snapshot of a headline from the newspaper that reads, Lok Sabha passes the Major Port Authorities Bill 2020. So this took place on 23rd of September 2020, that is yesterday. First things first, it is important to note that currently India has 12 major ports. So they are Kandla Port, that is also called as the Deen Dayal Port, the Mumbai Port, the JNPT Port, that is the Jawaharlal Nehru Port. This is also called as the Navasheva Port and it is the largest container port in India. Then we have the Murmagaon Port, the New Mangaluru Port, the Cochin Port, the Tuticorin Port, which is also called as the V.O. Chidambarnar Port, the Chennai Port, then the Ennore Port, which is missed out in this picture. It falls in this region, that is right above Chennai. Then the Vishakhapatnam Port, the Paradeep Port, and the Calcutta Port or the Kolkata Port, which also includes the Haldia region. Here's the roadmap. We'll first be looking at what is the Major Port Authorities Bill, then the key features of the same, followed by the significance. The Major Port Authorities Bill seeks to replace, not amend, but replace the Major Port Trusts Act of 1963. So what was this act? Now this act had a provision for the constitution of port authorities for certain major ports in India and would vest their control and administration in the port authorities. Now this bill seeks to provide regulation, operation and planning of major ports in the country and provide greater autonomy or the authority of these ports. This bill was earlier introduced in Lok Sabha in the year 2016 and was later referred to the Parliamentary Standing Committee. However, it was lapsed after the dissolution of the Lok Sabha session. This aims at achieving the expansion of the port infrastructure and facilitate trade and commerce. Let us dive into the details. So here are the key features. Coming to the jurisdiction, this bill will apply to all the 12 major ports that we previously discussed. Then the Major Ports Authority Board. Now under the 1963 Act, all the major ports are managed by the respective Board of Trust. Under the 1963 Act. But now under this bill, there is a provision for creation of the Board of Major Port Authority for each major port. So under 1963, the authority vested in the Board of Port Trusts. Now we have the Board of Major Port Authority. So in simple words, these boards, that is the Board of Major Port Authority, will replace the existing port trusts. Next, we have the fixing of rates or tariff. Currently, the Tariff Authority for Major Ports, that is the TAMP, under the Act of 1963, fixes the scale of rates for assets and securities or the services available at the ports. Now under this bill, the board, that is the authority board, the Board of Major Port Authority, will be determining these rates. So coming to the corporate social responsibility, this bill provides that the board may use its funds for providing social benefits. Now this includes the development of education, health, housing and also skill development. Penalties under violation of, if one violates any provision that falls under the bill, he will be entitled to paying a fine amount of up to 1 lakh rupees. So coming to the PPP projects, now under this bill, the role of TAMP, that is the Tariff Authority for Major Ports, is redefined. What is PPP? So here I have included the meaning of PPP. The PPP or 3P or P3, that is the public-private partnership, is a cooperative arrangement. It is a long-term arrangement. It is a cooperative arrangement between two or more public and private sectors. So in other words, it involves government and the businesses to work together on a certain project and provide services to the population. So now this bill defines the PPP projects as the projects taken up through a concession contract by the board. The revenue share in such projects will be based on certain concession agreements. Now let us look into the significance. So firstly, the privatized ports operate under a much more liberal regime and are under the control of the state governments. They are also operationally more efficient. So this will be more liberal regime and hence it will be more efficient. Then decentralizing the decision making. Decentralizing as in in transferring the authority to the central government. So decentralizing decision making and to infuse professionalism in governance of major ports. So this is one of the aims of the bill. Then transparency. So needless to say, this bill will help in bringing about transparency in operation of major ports. This will not only boost India's EXIM, that is the export-import trades, but also will generate the employment. Then, like we have already discussed, it will be promoting the expansion of port infrastructure and facilitate trade and commerce. So this is about the first article. Moving on, here are the snapshots of various newspaper headlines discussing the IIIT Laws Amendment Bill 2020. Parliament passes IIIT Amendment Bill giving national importance tag to 5 new institutes. These institutes would be the IIITs of Surat, Bhopal, Bhagalpur, Agartala and Raichur. So this was introduced in the Lok Sabha in the month of March, passed in the Lok Sabha again in the month of March and passed in the Rajya Sabha on 22nd of September 2020. The dates are not important. Anyway, moving on. Here's the roadmap. We'll first look into the background, followed by the agenda and then look into the significance. So coming to the background, the IIITs, that is the Indian Institute of Information Technology, were established to promote higher education and research in the field of information technology, that is the field of IT. The Union Cabinet had approved the scheme of setting up 20 new IIITs. 20 new IIITs in PPP, that is the public-private partnership mode, in November 2010. Now this bill seeks to amend the Principal Acts of 2014 and 2017. Let's look into the agenda. The IIIT Laws Amendment Bill 2020 seeks to declare the 5 IIITs in public-private partnership mode. We have already seen and understood what is the public-private partnership mode. That is, the government and the businesses will work together on a certain project to offer services to the population. Now these institutes will receive a statutory status, that is, they will be governed or enacted by the law. Likewise, they will also receive the status of national importance. Now these are the institutes declared as the institutions of national importance. IIIT Bhopal, IIIT Agartala, IIIT Surat, IIIT Bhagalpur and IIIT Raichur. Lastly, we have the significance. So with the declaration of IIITs, the new 5 that we just saw, as institutions of national importance, they will have power, they'll have the power to award degrees and use the categorization of BTech, MTech or PhD degree, and which is all issued by a university of national importance. Also, these institutes will be able to attract enough students to develop a strong research base in the country in the field of information technology. So now this article that we just discussed is not very high in terms of information. The information density is quite low. However, whatever is relevant from the examination point of view has been presented before you. So that's about it for the second article. So here's a snapshot from the D&D which you'll find in the official Sourcing Classes website. The answer to yesterday's question is option A. Let me read out the main specific questions for you. With the problematic content abounds in the digital space, what are the regulatory steps taken and to be taken by India to counterbalance them? Explain how is the recently passed Industrial Relations Code 2020 anti-worker. Describe the status of the Right to Education project as surveyed by the CAG. In the Rafale deal, what are the various offset commitments made by the foreign vendors to qualify for the main supply contract but later were not earnest about fulfilling them? What countries constitute the G4 and list the steps taken by them to further the cause of UN reforms. So here's the prelims practice question. Identify which of the following list of legislations have not been passed by the Parliament in the monsoon session of 2020. The Bilateral Netting of Qualified Financial Contracts Bill 2020, the Appropriation Number 3 Bill 2020 and the Appropriation Number 4 Bill 2020, the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill, the Code on the Social Security 2020. So the options are 1 only, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3 only, D, all the above. So you'll find the answer in tomorrow's session. Hope you found today's session informative. Thus, leaving you all to write your answers in the comment section, it's a wrap on your news podcast. Tomorrow is another day with another news. Thank you.